I had to start off with a smile. Adjust my cameras here. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. It's Motivational Monday. It's a marvelous Monday. It's a fantastic Monday. Well, I got to say all the M words. Marvelous, magnificent, okay? Magical, motivational Monday. Let's say that. It's all of the above. However you want to shape it, however you want to frame it, it's a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on this evening. A little late today, but still got to be consistent. Still want to get it done. Just came back from driving 8 hours round trip. And woo, I am tired. If you know me, you know that I am not a driver. I do not like to drive long distances. I can do a 2, 3 hour trip, but 8 hours, 12 hours, your girl cannot do it. So I'm representing my schools today. I'm a Michigan State alumni. Okay, go green. So it's Motivational Monday. We talking about trusting the process. So go ahead and get started because I want to relax because my day starts over once again tomorrow. And I'm doing real estate Tuesday tomorrow in my clubhouse room, also on my social media as well. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Toria Howard. And my mentor said you shouldn't say that, but my name is Toria Howard. And I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. So what up, though, to all my Detroit people? And I'm all things real estate. I'm a former educator of 15 years ago, girls basketball coach. I'm a commercial and residential real estate agent. I also do financial literacy education, and I am in the funding space. So I do all of those things. So, but today we're talking about trusting the process. What does the process look like for you? What does that really look like for you? Does it do you set goals? Do you set expectations? What does it look like for you? So I always like to start off with definitions and scriptures and things because I'm a wordsmith and I also follow the word. But um, I'm gonna start off with the definition of trust first. So if I can find my dictionary, where it go? I always have a dictionary. It's like my pocket dictionary. Always keep a dictionary. Always, always, always. So, what does trust mean, right? So, trust means reliance on the integrity, strength, ability, surety of a person or thing, confidence, right? Confident expectations of something, hope. So, trust is something that you have a confidence of hope. And then, process means a series of actions directed to some end. So you have an end goal in mind. So if you have confidence and hope in your goals, why is it so hard for us to trust the process? Why is it so hard for us to trust the process? I know why. You want me to tell you why? I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times we know that it gets hard, it gets difficult. So it's hard to trust and have hope in something that's hard, that's difficult, that seems like suffering is involved. It feels like hurt is involved. It's hard to maintain your sense of hope when those type of things occur when you're in your process. So you have to be mindful of trying your best to be positive even when the bad things happen, right? So many things has transitioned in my life since I've, converted into a full-time entrepreneur. I was an educator for 15 years and I love to teach and everything. And I'm teaching on a different scale, a different parameter, a different platform, not in a regular brick and mortar, but I'm still an educator because I lead with the education first. And it gets difficult at times because you want people to change. You want people to see it how you see you want people to see what you see in them. And it's so hard to convince people to change their mindset. And that's what I'm in the business of doing. I'm in the business of changing mindsets. And it's so hard to do that. And when people don't listen and they fight you tooth and nail and they just resist, it's so hard to continue the fight, the fray, to do the things that you know, want to do and what you see in them, right? Nothing but greatness, right, honey? So trusting the process in a sense sometimes is a letdown because you see it one way and you have this expectation, but it don't turn out that way. You see other people doing the same thing as you, and they're successful. They have all the things, right? They seem like they got it all together. Everything is happening for them. They're moving on. They're advancing. They're growing. But you never knew what their process was, what their growth stages were, what their ceilings were, what their struggles were. We just see the outward outcomes. And that's what we're searching for. A lot of us, we live in a microwave society. We want things to happen quickly, to turn around and be quickly. That's when I work with people with credit. They do the same thing to me. They want me to perform a miracle. I wish, I had Jesus touching, healing, miracle powers. I don't. All I can do is trust the process. And I strive to have my clients do the same thing. But they don't see it. They see like it's taking too long. It's too much work. And a lot of people don't trust the process because it's too much work. But the crazy part is we will put in work for other people and do things for other people and work hard and work to the bone and work all our lives for other people. But when it's time to work for us, it's too much work. We can't do it. It's too much. It's this, it's that. It's always an excuse as to why we can't work hard for ourselves. But we strive and complain about working for other people. So why don't you trust the process within your own right? You trust the process when somebody is telling you what to do. But when it's time for you to do something for yourself, to invest in yourself, you don't trust that process because it's too hard. So what is it that is the disconnect? Is the missing piece of it? It's the importance of patience. And I'm a big proponent. I am not a patient person. I am one of the most impatient people, but people think that I am patient. I would say I'm patient with people because I want to help them and I see things in them that they can't see. So I'm patient with people. I'm not patient with myself and the things that I do for myself, though. I want things to happen quickly. I want things to turn around when I want them to. I want what I want when I want it. All of those things. But I had to learn how to practice patience in my own life because I was patient with my clients and all the people that follow me or, sit that, comment info or come into my inbox or set an appointment and don't answer the phone. I'm patient with all those people, but I'm not patient with myself because I put these great expectations on my life and on the things that I want and all of the stuff that it gets overwhelming. And when it doesn't happen and it doesn't formulate in the way that I thought it should, I get upset. I get angry. I get impatient. I react to my emotions and I become impulsive. So, one of the key missing proponents of this process is patience. You have to have patience in the process. So, just like the story of the Hebrews coming out of Egypt, they was only going to be in the wilderness for 11 days. But they made it a 40-year process because they didn't trust God. They didn't trust the process. And what's crazy about that is they saw the miracles before their eyes. Some of us don't see like blatant miracles for us to have radical change and movement in our mindset, but these people had radical change in front of their eyes. All the plagues, the parting of the Red Sea would have got me. Like, okay, see this right here, a whole sea parting, and we're passing through. and they still didn't believe. So imagine you going throughout your life, you're not we asking for signs, but we're ignoring the signs. We're ignoring the signs right in front of us because maybe it's not radical enough for us. It's not the sign that we're looking for. And I've done that myself. You bypass the signs that is in front of you because it's not in the shape of the form that you want it to be, but it's still a sign. And you get, my husband said it on my in my clubhouse room not too long ago. You become a wanderer in the wilderness because you don't trust the process. You don't trust the process. So you become a wanderer. And that's what happens when we don't trust the process. We become a wanderer. We wander around not knowing what we're doing, where we're going, because we didn't trust the process. We didn't trust our gut. We didn't trust God. We didn't trust ourselves. We are self sabotaging in the ultimate way. So that's the thing. That's the disconnect, the impatience, right? And then managing expectations. Are you setting goals and intentions, as Allegra, our fearless leader of the WIN community would say? Are you setting, instead of setting goals and having these big aspirations and not aspirations, but expectations of yourself and the others, you know, what is it that you are what are you intentionally going to do in order to be one in your process is the question. What are you going to do that's going to be intentional for you to be able to go from wandering to actually walking into your promise? That's the thing. Like, what's going to be that thing? What are the steps that you're going to take? Because in any process, there are steps. If you're an engineer and you are on a mission to create something, there are steps. It just doesn't appear. If you're a builder and you're building a house, right? You start with the foundation, right? Then you build up from there. It's a process. So, are you setting intentional goals that can be met and not goals that are far? There's nothing wrong with long range, big dreams and goals, but what are you setting every single day that you can accomplish intentionally that will get you to where you want to be? That's the question. We got to stop putting the pressure on us to perform because we're not clowns. We're not, if you're an actor, you got to perform, but or a singer or whatever. But I'm just saying, put the pressure on yourself to perform because of the fact that you want what other people have and you feel like this is what you have to do. So you put this pressure on yourself and you get down on yourself and you put all the weight on yourself that, oh, I'm not where I want to be because I'm old, I'm this, I'm that, I should be here by now. All these different things that we jab ourselves with, the expectation of where we supposed to be at a certain time. I did the same thing and made so many mistakes in doing that. We got to stop putting a time frame on it and let it happen because we are intentional with the things that we're doing. That's the thing. Being intentional. Setting goals, yes. Setting obtainable goals, yes. In real estate, you do a SWOT analysis. Well, in business, you do a SWOT analysis, right? You talk about the strengths, you talk about the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats. You talk about, you have to get all of that in, right? But that's still the process. You have to figure all of that stuff out. You have to strategically plan and be intentional about which way and where you want to go. So, having expectations, okay, but not too much of expectations where they're unattainable. And how do you overcome obstacles? It's a good question. How do you overcome obstacles? Because during the process, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have things you're going to be fighting with, mostly yourself, outside situations, people, you know, things happen. So, how do you overcome those obstacles? You overcome those obstacles by not worrying about what you can't change and focusing on the things that you can change and the solutions. That's how you overcome the obstacles, because the obstacles are going to come. They're going to be there. It's a part of life. It's what it is. We can't bypass that. But how do you overcome? By just focusing on what you can change and not on the things that you can't. And keep it moving. My dad told me that a long time ago. And my dad is so lackadaisical. He's gonna be 30 I mean 30. Yeah. 80 next month. He's gonna be 80 next month. And he told me that a long time ago. Stop worrying about things that you cannot control, you cannot change. What's the point? And my dad has lived a stress, he's just so, sometimes he's too nonchalant. I'll be like, show some type of emotion, dad. But that's true, and you have to know how not to make those obstacles emotionally or mentally drain you. That's exactly right, poetry man. You got to know how to not make it emotionally or mentally draining, because when you dwell on it and you keep on dwelling on it, all it do is drain you. And what is dwelling on it do? What is talking bad about the situation and doing all these things and going crazy and, you know, all these things? What is it doing? It's making you angrier, sadder, you know, it's not solving any problems. So, you know, overcoming those obstacles is a lot of times overcoming ourselves. And then learning from failure. We got to be we got to stop being afraid to fail. Fail forward, fail fast. I wish I would have had that, inkling, because scientists, I mean, people that create stuff, inventors, they fail all the time, and then they find one day they finally just get it and it clicks and everything goes together. And we all have to have that scientist inventor mentality when it comes to our process. There are going to be failures, there are going to be no's, there are going to be things that you missed, but what did you learn from it? How can you make that ceiling your floor? That's the whole process. That's what's bringing it all together. How do you do that? How do you persevere from the failure? How do you grow from the failure? It's always a lesson. You fail forward, you fail fast, you grow. Failure gives experience, definitely. And to avoid some failures, because a lot of us don't listen, you have to get with the people, with the right people, network with the right people, get the right people into your circle, get mentorship, get coaches, all those different things. And sometimes you can abate some of those failures that could occur if you just do it on your own. But a lot of times we want to do it on our own, but we can't live this life alone. We have to get with other people that have gone through what we're going through, or in the same wavelength, or going in the same direction, or have surpassed, not even in business, but just in life, and they're living, it seems like, their best life. What can you learn from them? Knowledge. That's what a lot of people mistaking. You can combat failure by getting more knowledge, educating yourself, taking courses, but also learning from people that have experienced the things that you have gone through. Yeah, you got to get with people who are getting ahead. How are they moving through the process? What is their process? What is the steps? People that are successful, they love to talk about that part. They love to talk about where they came from and how they persevered. So get with somebody that, get with the right network of people that's going to be hold you accountable, people that's going to try to push you, try to encourage you, infuse you with ideas, and stop you from, the failures that they made, right? And then you have to maintain your motivation. Every time you set your feet on the floor is another day. You should be grateful every time you get up out of the bed. You wake, open your eyes, and you can move, and you have your own cognizance, and you have your own, you have your senses, and you everything is working. That's the time for you to be motivated because you have another day to complete the task that you didn't do the day before, or set more different goals or learn from the failures of the day before. Stay motivated when you have another chance. Every time you get another chance, it's another time your purpose has not been fulfilled. And you have to celebrate the small wins. Celebrating the small wins. Accountability partner or mentor is good to have. Yes, definitely. I think you need to have both. And they can be one and the same. But, having people, you know, with you, for you, and it's going to push you, great. So, celebrate your small wins. I had a problem doing that. I'd be like, oh, that was so little. I didn't celebrate. And somebody had to check me. My accountability partners had to check me and be like, Toria, that's a great accomplishment. Like, why are you bypassing that fact? Why are you glossing over that? Because it's not what it wasn't that I didn't celebrate it or I didn't want it or anything like that. It was just like because of the fact that it didn't happen repetitiously and it didn't keep on happening that I just threw it by the wayside. And it's a huge accomplishment. Definitely. Accountability partners and mentors are good. So you have to celebrate the small wins so that you can appreciate the big. I thought it was a small accomplishment, me selling a house that was for 940,000. And then I talked to some realtors and that has been doing it for 20 years. They said they never sold a $900,000 property before. And I did it my first year in real estate and wasn't trying to. That was the crazy part. But because I was into serving people, I fell into it. And that's some of the things too. Put yourself in the right place at the right time by serving others, being of service, and celebrating. And those people that are successful and they're doing the things and they have the things that you want, and they're in the field that and they're successful in their business and all of that. Celebrate them. Celebrate them. Because guess what? Your celebration is going to come. You have to celebrate others in order for you to be able to be celebrated. I celebrate when every time I see a realtor on my timeline selling. You know how hard it is to get a closing? Y'all just don't understand. I'm about to do a reel about it tomorrow, how all the things we have to do in order to be able to get people to the closing table. We wear a lot of hats and do a lot of work, from janitorial to engineering to psychological to motivational, a whole lot of different things. So it's a lot. I celebrate every time I see a realtor on my timeline and say they've closed. It's people that close, seem like they closing every single day. I don't have a closing every single day, but I celebrate them just as if it was me. And I always say no ceilings, just floors. No ceilings, just floors. No ceiling, because it's not. We only make our own ceilings. So I celebrate others, and I don't have a problem with that. But I also had to take a step back and celebrate the small wins that I've had that I didn't appreciate. And then staying committed. That's the last and final point. Just staying committed. It's so hard. Like, people throw out there being consistent is like, they say being consistent is like every day. We put this pressure on, like, I got to do it every day. I got to do it every day. No, being consistent is a routine that you do, that you consistently do. Like, so for instance, if you don't, I work out 5 days a week. Some people don't want to work out 5 days a week. That's routine. Some people get results to working out 3 days a week. I actually personally enjoy working out. I do. It's like a stress relief. It's like a self-care thing for me. But as long as you are consistent with your routine, it doesn't have to be every single day. But if you're intentional in what you're doing in the time of that routine, okay, then, that's when you see the results. It's all about, we got to stop putting so much pressure on ourselves to perform, because the pressure that we suffer from peer pressure, and people don't realize that. What we see on social media, what we see on TV, we watching these reality shows, we have peer pressure every single where we go. Every time we turn around, there's some type of peer pressure to perform, to do this, to do that. And then we lose sight of what it is we're supposed to do. Stay committed, be consistent, and stop putting the pressure on yourself if you don't do it every single day the same way. As long as you know that you recognize that you need to get back to it, it's okay. And once you recognize that, then you can get into the repetition of doing it consistently every single day or however often. But just getting the routine of doing it, if you say I'm gonna work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's consistency. If you say that I'm going to make phone calls uh, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, that's consistency. If you say I'm going to, meet two new people every single day, that's consistency. If you say I'm gonna meet two people every single week, that's consistency. If you say I'm gonna meet five people, a day, 10 people a week, whatever it is that whatever parameters you put on yourself, as long as you set a obtainable goal that fits your situation, that's consistency, that's staying committed. Don't put your pressure on yourself when it doesn't happen every single day, because life happens as long as you do it intentionally. So that's what I have a training. I'm so late for training right now. Yes, I still get trained. Yes, I still, get on trainings, and, I read and all of that good stuff. I'm also reading this wonderful book right here that Lisa White gave me. It's called Seeing Beautiful Again. And it's devotionals. It's everyday devotionals that, making sure that you see beautiful, because sometimes we see a lot of ugly. And I personally thank her for giving me that, because sometimes, it's hard being an entrepreneur. It's so hard, man. It's like, you want to help people, you want to serve people, and they just keep telling you no. You keep getting the rejections. It just keep on coming and coming and coming and coming, and it's just like, what am I really doing? Is this for me? You don't get a sale every week or every day or whatever. You know, it's hard. It's hard. So you got to be able to see the beauty in everything, and keep motivated, stay committed, encourage yourself, get around the right people, network with the right people, find you mentors and accountability partners, people that's going to push you to do the things that sometimes you don't feel like doing every day. Some people need that. Everybody needs that. If you don't have nobody in your circle that's doing that for you, that means you need a new circle. And you need to network with some more people. And we got to get out of this, oh, no new friends. I don't want no new friends. Well, the old ones sure not doing what they're supposed to do. So apparently you need some new friends. I love meeting new people. I love talking to people, you know. And I didn't really think that I did at first. But as an educator, I did it every day. Because sometimes my students was a different person every time they came in. So you just never knew. But I say that to say this: trust the process, stay committed. Even if it's dark, you be the light in your own tunnel. And just know, in order for you to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you got to be able to be the light in it so that you can get to the end. Because it can be dark, but don't be resilient, persevere. Don't put the mountains and the walls and the obstacles in front of you. You conquer self, and then you can conquer everything else. Put God first in everything that you do, and trust that it will not always be like this. It's the smallest it will ever be. This is the best day of my life thus far. Whatever you have to tell yourself whatever it is. It's not going to be like this always. Stay committed, trust the process. Pressure makes beautiful things. Pressure brings beauty every single time. That's how diamonds are made, through pressure. So I bid you adieu. Anybody that needs any of my services, I would love to help because I'm looking to help 1,000 plus people become homeowners. People, we got to stop leaving all this money on the table. I'm gonna talk real estate tomorrow, though. We got to stop leaving all this money on the table, not leveraging our finances and learning how to make our money work for us and put it in vehicles that move. I can help you do that. So definitely reach out to me. My link is in my Instagram bio. It's on my Facebook Live, and it's on my description in my YouTube. So I bid you adieu. I got to get on this training. I'm like 24 minutes late. And I will see you tomorrow for Real Estate Tuesday. And if you're on Clubhouse, Exquisite Conversations House, that's my house. So definitely get there. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.